Good afternoon, Cary Rotary Club. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd, and welcome to the friendliest club in District 7710. Glad to see everybody here. Oh, beg your pardon. Today is Tuesday, August 9th. Last week was August 2nd. Welcome to our meeting. Fine. Exactly. I want to thank you all for coming to our dance. So after our meeting today, stick around. We're going to do some square dancing. Look forward to that. Just kidding. I'd like to call on Aiden Jones, please, to offer our invocation and pledge.
Afternoon. Really quick, give us time for patience, time for understanding, time to remember, thoughtful things to do, time to believe in our fellow men, human beings, and time to perceive the value of being in Rotary.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white would flow. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Thank you, Aiden. We have a number of guests that we'd like to welcome here today. Past District Governor Tim Ennis, would you please introduce our guests?
I certainly shall. So what I will do is I'll have the ones who are responsible for getting here introduce them. Bill Fletcher, do you have a guest that is?
I certainly do. Thank you, Tim. I'd like to introduce Don Lyle. Don has served the community for years, works with students who faced, they may not have made some really good decisions. And today he's sort of had in the county commission race this fall. No politics here today, just wanted to know who the face of the name, Don Lyle.
Well, welcome, Don.
Just a little formally later, Vickie Adamson, county commissioner, is here to share with us some of the good things the county does.
Thank you. John Creekburn, you have a guest.
Yes, I have a guest, Sally Fox, who's my guest. She moved down here from New York State. She lives over in Glen Eyre with the rest of those people that are of that field.
Welcome, Sally.
President, I understand you have some guests.
I do, in fact, have some guests. I'd like to introduce you to Tejas, if you'd stand, please, along with your dad, Anurag. We welcome Anurag Yustava and Tejas Yustava as our guests today. And also, I'm very happy to share that Tejas, who was a 10th grade student at Inlow High School, is going to be doing some volunteer work for our club. You may know that we post our videos of our club meetings. Just keep talking in front of the camera here. Since we do post our meetings. So we post the recordings of our club meetings on Facebook each week, and Tejas is going to be working to make those videos a little higher quality for us. So we are grateful for that. Thank you all so much for being here. And Tim, thank you so much for introducing our guests, and welcome everyone. We have a number of announcements, as is appropriate this time of year. And since Chris Walker is here, Chris, would you like to give us an update on our upcoming golf tournament?
President Rod. All right, we've got less than 3 weeks until the golf outing tournament, call it what you want, it's a fundraiser. Got 80 players signed up. We can use more. Several of you here and several of you online said, yeah, I need to sign up. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. So anyway, that's where we are right now. Sign up online. Ron just sent the link on the club announcement email. So just push the link, sign up. Look forward to seeing you out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. We're getting those days warmer by the moment here, so we're looking for a nice hot day when we get together in a couple weeks. Jim Lovejoy, tonight is a very special event. Would you tell us about the Memory Cafe?
It is.
Come right on up.
Yes, we have 30 guests signed up for the Memory Cafe. We have 4 volunteers from our club who's going. We have 2 Ron and Paul and I. If you'd like to come, we'd love to have you. You can help serve food or help set up or clean up or whatever. And the music, the menu is Danny's Barbecue. Complete dinner, the whole thing of coleslaw, beans, hush puppies, and all that. So it's going to be good. And our entertainment is a piano player who sings. He's very good. So, see you then.
All right, thank you, Jim. Gail Cabrera, we have a special opportunity coming up at Reedy Creek Elementary School. Tell us about that.
Sure. So I think Bill was able to tell y'all about this last week while I was not here, so thank you, Bill, for that. On August 25th, we will be volunteering at Reedy Creek Elementary. It is their Meet the Teacher Night. It is an outdoor event where we will have a tent, and we are going to play a game to give away some books to the kids as they meet their teachers, and also just a great way to introduce Rotary to the community. We do a lot for the schools, and I'm not sure that everyone knows when they get the book what exactly Rotary does, what we stand for, and I think it's a great way to kind of combine the two. We are looking for a few more volunteers, so if you are interested, please let me know or email me or anyone. Honest, Bill, email me, tell me, we'll get you registered for the table. But since this is an outdoor event, you do not have to be registered with the school system to go into the schools to get that background check and everything done. So do not let that be your deterrent for hanging out with me on an absolutely gorgeous Thursday afternoon. So if you have any questions, let me know, but it'll be a good evening of giving out books to the kids.
All right, another great opportunity. Thank you, Gail. So you've heard about these fantastic opportunities that we have to volunteer. I'd like to ask Paul Wazikowicz to come up for a moment and talk about how we make sure we know that you're at these events. So Paul, come right up.
Thank you, President Rod. Good afternoon, Rotarians. As you can see from my post this morning, I'm the secretary, and I track your attendance. If you're here at a meeting, we love you. We're glad you're here. You're taken care of. You're in good hands with Allstate, so don't worry about that. But if you are leading a project like the golf tournament, the one on August 25th, a committee meeting, if you're participating in them, please make sure that you let me know of your hours and the date that you worked. We'd love to track that for you. This year we're tracking more accurately all of our events that we participate in, because they quantify into dollars too that we help with the community. So your hours, actually you don't get paid, but they turn into dollars that we like to be proud of that we spend in our community. So make sure that you get a hold of me, let me know if you did this or that, and I will take care of entering it for you. And I thank you.
Secretary is such a huge job, and Paul does it so well. Let's give him a round of applause. Please be sure to let Paul know so that he can enter that. I'd like to invite any miracle moments. Does anyone have a miracle moment to share? Kristen, please.
I don't know how to scared to say it out loud, but I have had 2 nights in my house without children for the first time ever. So I'm hoping this stays this way. All kids were moved out by Sunday. And we'll see next week.
Other miracle moments. Anybody raising their hand online? Well, we have a number of miracle moments to celebrate today. I invite Bob Griffin, our past president, to come up, and we have some special presentations of blue badges to make. So, Bob.
Thank you, President Rod. And if I can ask Tim Duffy, Aiden Jones, John Amarante, and Ted Straub to join me at the front. We have a celebration today of achievement. Our new friends, our old friends, have completed a journey of integrating into the club by completing a number of tasks that are intended to help them introduce themselves to the club and have you get to know them. And so each of these gentlemen has accomplished all of those things. Ted and Aiden have been longtime Rotarians, so they knew what the drill was, but they were good sports and went through the process anyway. So I want to, Tim, welcome you with the blue badge. Ted, you'll turn in your red. We will turn the red to blue.
Thank you.
Aiden and John. Congratulations to you. And Paul will have a very instructive paragraph to tell you about how to store those badges correctly.
Congratulations, getting your blue badge reflects a real commitment to being a member of our club, and we're grateful to each of you for all that you've done to earn that. We also have the pleasure today of inducting a new member. You've seen him quite often. Thomas Bell, would you come on up, please? And Bob, if you'll come up again as well. So this is a little ceremonial. I always get, a little moved when we induct a new member to our club. It's my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into membership in our club, Thomas Bell. He was proposed for membership by Eric Schmidt. The proposal has been approved in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the club. Thomas, we now proceed to admit you into membership in the Rotary Club of Cary, and so to the Fellowship of Rotary throughout the world. You understand that the ideal of Rotary is service. Our motto is service above self. And the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal as a basis of worthy enterprise. You are to share in this important effort. You've been approved for membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative interested in the ideals of Rotary, committed to abiding by our 408 test, and willing to do your share in translating these ideals into tangible realities. You have agreed to accept the obligations attached to your membership and to obey the club's constitution and bylaws. Likewise, I charge each of our club members, not to fail in your duty to extend your friendship and your support to Thomas as he becomes a member of our club, to ensure that his membership is useful and happy. I want to thank Eric for introducing Thomas to our club and sponsoring his membership. As Eric is not here to be able to be with us today, I'm inviting Bob to please pin on the Rotary emblem, which is right here.
Part of this is open in the box.
This Rotary emblem, which Thomas, we hope you will wear with pride.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thomas, on behalf of Rotary Cary Rotary Club, congratulations so much. Thank you so much. Round of applause for everyone. Thank you, Bob. At this time, it is my pleasure to invite our speaker here, and I'd like to ask Bill Fletcher to come up and introduce Commissioner Vickie Adamson.
Thank you, President Rod. I met Vickie Adamson in 2013 when she knocked on my door and said, "How can I help you get elected to the school board?" And with her help and that of several other people, ladies that she knew, we were successful in doing that. Vickie is a servant, big time. She has been on, just give you this, just take this. She's been on the county commission for 4 years. Her term is up this year for elections. No one, Democrat or Republican, raised their hand to run against her. Okay, so when you go to vote this fall, you can vote for 7. One of them has no opponent. That's pretty amazing in Wake County's politics and running for the county commission, which controls our property taxes. She is a servant. She has learned a tremendous amount in the last 4 years, and I'm happy to have her back at request of many of you who said we wish she would come back and talk to us some more about what the county is doing. So she's going to leave lots of times for questions. Okay, so Vickie Adamson, come on up. Thank you for coming.
Last time I got carried away with the slides. So this time I brought a slide presentation, but I'm going to go through it really quickly and it'll be sent to you if you want to see the details. As everybody's aware, we are growing really quickly in Wake County. Even during the pandemic, we averaged 62 people a day, which was 22,000 people last year who moved into Wake County from out of Wake County. We are currently now the largest county in the state, with a little over 1 million people. So we like to think of Mecklenburg as our little brother now. We added more than 225,000 people in the last decade, and that is more people than Cary and Apex combined. We're the 3rd fastest growing county in the U.S., and we probably will surpass Travis County, which is Austin, in the next few years. This is where the growth is. This is just a chart of where the building permits are in Wake County right now. Rankings. We keep winning everything and they keep coming. So sorry, there's no way to keep us a secret. Wake County government now has about 4,500 employees, and that's everything from libraries to health and human services to EMS. And this is basically what the county does. We do Animal Center, Board of Elections, we pay for the elections, we're responsible for election security. EMS, Fire and Emergency Management, we have our own park system, libraries, waste and recycling. When your municipal, when Cary picks your trash up, we run the landfill, they bring it to us. We do health and human services, affordable housing, veterans, and we're over the register of deeds. So that's what we do in county government. And we collaborate with all 12 of our municipalities. This is who we are when we meet. If anybody ever wants to do an outing and come to one of our meetings, we'd love to have you. They're very interesting sometimes, aren't they, Bill? And this is our board goals for this year. It's community health, economic strength, education, great government, growth and sustainability, and public safety. This is our board functions. It's the biggest thing we do every year is the budget, is how we decide how we're going to spend the money. Economic development, we are now the #2 for Metro Tech innovation in the country. And that's very, very attractive to a lot of companies. What we see now is when companies look to move to an area, the first thing they look at is talent pipeline. What does our workforce look like? And second is site development. What facilities are here that they can move into? And taxes usually don't even make the top 15 anymore. And we lose business all the time to New Jersey and places like that. And since 2021, companies have brought $3.9 billion worth of capital investment and 6,700 new jobs to Wake County. These are just a few of the companies that have moved in. And this is the Economic Health Index. This just shows basically where poverty is in Wake County. And we are doing a lot of really targeted economic development to try to put companies in those areas that pay livable wages, so those folks have easy access to livable wage jobs with full benefits. We've spent the last 2 years basically doing Plan Wake, which is our land development and land use policies within unincorporated Wake County. And as you know, there used to be a lot of rural land in Wake County, and it's very quickly shrinking. So this is our attempt to help us control growth, put growth into certain areas, density, and just try to do a better job with our land management. Increasing incomes. Fortunately, we're seeing poverty levels decrease in Wake County. We're a business of distinction. We're recognized nationwide for a great place to come and do business. Affordable housing, that's still a huge challenge in Wake County. We spend a lot of resources and a lot of effort on that. And we did create a 20-year affordable housing plan. And these are our basic goals of what we want to do and we want to see our housing move toward. And the first phase, we were supposed to complete it in 5 years, and we completed it in 3. So fortunately, we're a little ahead of schedule with that. And we're doing huge investments in affordable housing. And we're very fortunate for every dollar we put in, we bring about 11 in foundation and tax credits, federal money, to help us build. Last year, we started 1,000 units, which is the most in the history of the county. So we have invested $37 million in taxpayer money, and we've gotten almost $405 million back in return in actual housing on the ground. We've created 2,500 units in 3 years. That was our 5-year goal. We've started, we get a lot of pressure to help people with their rents. And we have resisted just cash rent subsidy payments. But what we have done for landlords who will rent to low-income folks, we're supporting those landlords with extra deposit money, with rewards, so we can help hard-to-house folks get into rental housing. We're doing a lot of home ownership programs because that's just, it's a great, everybody wants to own their own home. We're continuing to use our ARPA money, our federal money, to help with agencies get people from homelessness to be housed. We have created a one-stop shop. So if you need a housing assistance in Wake County, instead of jumping around a bunch of agencies, we now have one. We've currently done a lot of extra investment into Smart Start because every statistic shows if a child starts school behind, they're going to stay behind. So now we've funded for the eligible 4-year-olds. We have completely funded the demand, and now we're going into 3-year-olds. We're going to start, we've got a pilot going of 100 students this year, and we're going to see what that does for our reading averages in those other grades. So I know that was fast, sorry, but I wanted to leave a lot of time for questions since I didn't last time. And these will be sent to you so you can read the details. Of course, if you have any questions, just contact me. Bill has my number. So I know that was really fast, but who would like the first question? Yes.
You talk about rising incomes
Yes.
across the county.
Yes.
Can you speak to income disparity and whether or not are we coming together or are we growing apart?
We're coming together a little more than we have in the past. But, everybody knows there's a labor shortage. And it's just like housing. What drives the cost of housing is demand. And now, where 2 years ago, we had a campaign to try to get employers to pay $15 an hour. $18.02 an hour is considered a livable wage in Wake County. Well, now we don't have to do anything because if they don't pay it, they don't have anybody to work. So we've seen that escalation just in demand. And one of the things we've done, actually it was one of my initiatives that I was most proud of. When I first got on the commission, you know, we always hear that women make 60 cents on the dollar to a man. Well, every time you see a really high arching statistic like that, you know, the devil's in the detail. What makes that up? So we did a deep dive into what that looks like in Wake County. And what we found in the professions, you know, doctors, lawyers, that kind of profession, the wage disparity between male and females is really not that good. The huge wage disparity is in folks who have high school diplomas and don't go on to some 4-year college. Because what we see is our girls go into hairdressing and, you know, food service, and males have a tendency to go into the skilled trades. And of course, we know right now in Wake County, you can earn a comfortable income with a skilled wage. So what we did is we embedded some positions in Wake Tech, and we call it Wake Develops Women. And they are purposefully out getting young ladies and ladies who want to go back to school into the skilled trades. And we have 8 ladies starting in the fall who are going to do auto mechanics, which is, you know, now that's definitely livable wage. We found that our first ladies wanted to do welding, you know, HVAC, plumbing. They were a little concerned about, did they have the body strength to do all the lifting? But we find that our girls love to weld. But the first thing we found was you have to wear special cotton clothing, protective clothing. And a men's small swallowed some of our young ladies whole, right? It was just didn't fit. And the clothing wasn't in the market. So we literally had to go to manufacturers and get them to create girl size clothing. And right now, a welder could start in Wake County in the $80,000 to $90,000 range. So we got a lot of single moms taught them how to weld, and they're, you know, off services, thriving, and apparently like to weld. So who knew? So that's part of where we're trying to work with the disparities. Yes.
How are programs like Wake Free School communications?
So what we've done right now is we started it last year. So we funded an administrative structure to put it together. We didn't serve any students. And we did it under Smart Start. And so this year, we're only doing 100 students as a pilot, just to see how it goes, how the curriculum goes. And all we did for that one, because we didn't know if there would be a demand for 3-year-olds. Well, there's a demand. So all we did was communicate with the families that have their students in the 4-year-old program, and we got 550 applications for the 100 slots. So we will be expanding it, you know, every year. With the 4-year-old program, the state pays 60% of that. So we only have to pay 30%. With the 3-year-old, we're paying 100% of that. So it'll be a slow progression to open those seats up.
How's the 4-year-old program?
Most people just know about it, but we do a lot of marketing. We go to all the child care centers. We go to community events. Marbles holds events for us at libraries in neighborhoods that the children would probably qualify, because your family has to be under 200% probably. We go to that. We hold events. We go to apartment complexes and hold events. We think about 85% of the eligible students enrolled.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I beg to interrupt.
Sure.
I actually have taught little children
Yes,
just in my community.
yes,
And what I have noticed that they forget, like, I mean, what is the follow-up? And
Right.
how are you assessing that they have actually, I mean, maybe you started doing this program, you started doing it,
Right.
but what have they actually sustained? I mean, can they recall what has been taught? And
Right.
are they able to implement?
Right.
So, I mean, I just thought that in my experience,
Yeah.
sometimes it wasn't happening.
Right.
Although I've just started just volunteering in the community, but it was so happening. So I was just wondering
Well-
how you proceed. Like you just started the program, you've done all this marketing,
Right.
what is coming out of it?
What we will do is the 103-year-olds we're doing this year, we will assess them at the time they move into kindergarten. Because once they move into the public schools in kindergarten, we really don't have access to them. So what we'll do is once this 100 moves through the 3-year, the 4-year program, we'll assess them and see if they test higher than just a 4-year program. That's part of the reason we're only doing 100 this year. We need to make sure that this is going to work before we roll it out to thousands of students. Yeah.
Now, you were talking about this, but I actually, my mom, she purposely didn't teach me when I was younger. And
Okay.
she threw me into kindergarten.
Right.
And it was so hard for me, like I was lagging.
Yes.
Because everybody else knew so much.
Yes.
But later, I'm not doing much at all, honestly, because I'm kind of going round and round doing nothing always.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I actually did 3 masters after that.
Oh,
And
excellent.
and I don't know, like, I was 5 when I started.
Yes.
You know, so
that's good.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
any difference, but
Yeah.
I know I struggled.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of you want to. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Since you just started with the 3-year-old program and before you assess it to continue to see if it's going to grow, is there going to be any consideration that the kids were masked for the first half year? So my son did a 3-year-old program in Georgia
Right.
prior to COVID.
Right.
That kind of opened up kindergarten.
Right.
And I will say that the 3-year-old program, it actually got him ahead of the program. So
Right.
when COVID hit, he's just now on call.
Okay.
So to me, I'm with the 3-year-old program. What I would hate to see is the 3-year-old program being looked as not successful because phonemic awareness has really struggled with math and that's a lot of people like literacy and children learning.
Mhm.
So is there going to be any compensation for that since they were in math? It's not arguing for math or not math, but it will affect.
Well, we
Yeah.
Well, we take each child where they are when they come in, and so some have been affected by that and some not. So yeah, each child is assessed at their own
I
place.
think each kid is going to be affected because phonemic awareness is how it sounds.
Right.
And the way you learn sounds without watching something's mouth move.
Right.
So to make this sound sequence come together.
Yes.
And no kid had that advantage in a school setting.
Right.
For the progression. That has nothing to do with a teacher's ability, parental involvement. It was just the way the language.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Bill.
I understand you and some of your colleagues have been working very hard to deal with the high family rate. What's happening there?
What Jessica Holmes and I, right before the pandemic, one of the when I first got on the board, I was the only mom on there. I'm not sure how that happened, but I was. And public health is in charge of infant mortality. They do any child under 18 that dies of unnatural death, they do the death investigation. Because a lot of it's a public health issue. What can we do to just make schools and the environment safer? So I guess I've been a commissioner all of about 2 or 3 months, and we got the child mortality reports, which is the hardest report I take all year. Because these are children that didn't have to die. And one of the things we found is if you're a woman of color, your chance of your infant dying before a year is 3 times a white baby. And I was mortified. Now, the rates were going down over time, but that was just because we can save babies smaller. It truly was not a turn. So Jessica Holmes and I did a whole task force on what is the cause. And we got a lot of specialists from UNC, a lot of people from that world. And what we found, which was really surprising, is socioeconomic played a very small role. It was, so literally a white female with no high school education has a greater chance of having a healthy baby survive to one than a woman of color with a PhD. And it's microaggressions, it's lack of care, it's lack of support. And one of the things we found, so we started looking at other places what the best practices are. And what we found is when babies don't thrive, a lot of times the mother has postpartum depression. So if you're isolated, if you don't have a lot of family support, you're not as likely to get help. And in some cultures, getting help is different than, me when I'm upset, I'm going to go talk to a therapist. So we've put, and of course we had to change it during COVID, but we now have home visiting nurses who assess for things like postpartum depression. Does the mom have the support she needs? We started a program with the Methodist Church to try to get dads involved, because that was a huge factor. Was the father involved? Did the mom have that support? So we've been working to try to get dads involved. We found that a lot of women of color, even if they have a private physician and private insurance, don't go to get prenatal help till their second trimester. So if there's an issue, they catch it late. So we've been trying to do a lot of education about if you think you're pregnant, you just need to get some prenatal care. And the other thing we've started that's a lot of fun is we found with a lot of our younger moms, and the majority of them are in the Southeast Raleigh area, their families, the baby's not a joy to the family. It's seen as a burden. So twice a year we go to Southeast Raleigh and we throw a baby shower. And we give them pack and plays. We give them gifts. They get to eat cake with little booties on it. And we just celebrate them as moms and their children. And the other thing we found is with sudden infant death syndrome, that was tremendously higher in babies of color. And when we started looking at the babies that had died, where they just stop breathing, where they can SIDS, right? That is much higher in babies of color. And what we found was when we started looking at the death records for Wake County, because we do the investigations, is a lot of babies who died of SIDS was in improper sleeping situations. They were in the bed with somebody. They were at grandma's house on the sofa. They didn't have what we consider appropriate. So what we did was we bought a couple of truckloads of pack and plays. And now for our ladies that we serve, if they want it, we give them a pack and play. Because typically they don't have space for a crib, and you can move that with you. So if you need to leave the baby at mom's while you're going to work, you can pack it up and take it. And they have the cradle in the top. And we've really reduced our SIDS deaths in Wake County with that, just because of the giving out those pack and plays. So that's what we've done, yeah.
One of the things that amazes me, because I've had grandchildren or anything, is the expense of childcare. And what kind of programs are available? Is that a county commissioner's thing?
Yeah, the state has a subsidized childcare, so you can apply through the state and get subsidized childcare. They administer that, and they do have somewhat of a wait list. But now, if you're in one of our workforce development programs, we cover some childcare for you. So because they won't cover it unless you're at work. So we do work with moms who are trying to get educated. Yeah.
It's hard to work at a low wage when you still got to pay most of it.
Oh yeah, and of course the WIC typically doesn't pay for enough formula. So we've got some nonprofits working with that, because it pays for like exactly what on the carton it says. And I don't know, but the babies I've been involved in eat a whole lot more than that. So moms water it down. And so we've worked with some nonprofits to get formula and some churches to get diapers, because you can't buy diapers quick, just to try to alleviate some of that burden and help like a spiral. Yes, and then I think I'm being booted. So I'll take one more question quickly.
When you were discussing affordable housing, you stated that y'all have tried not to do just rental subsidy of just cash to them. Can you explain what the rationale is for supporting the landlords versus supporting the landlords?
We do have some programs if you're about to be evicted, but our rationale is we want that unit permanently for somebody who's low income. And if we work with the landlord and subsidize it through the landlord, then if the current tenant moves, it's still a subsidized unit. So that is our rationale for that. And yeah, it's good seeing you again.
Vickie,
It's good to see you.
thank you so much.
I
You know,
want to come back.
we appreciate your sharing your obvious passion for what you do, and we really appreciate you taking time. I think this could go on a lot longer if there were time. As a small token of our appreciation for your being here, these are drawings of scenes in Cary done by our resident artist, Jerry Miller, right over there. So that makes it even more special. Thank you, Vickie.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Let me take a moment, first of all, to introduce another guest who arrived a little bit later, and we didn't introduce earlier. Please help me welcome Shugata Mazumdar. Shugata, welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
Your patience for inviting me over and appreciate that. I was here one time with Nicole, when there is autism. I mean, I'm actually interested in the sectional, and there's this presentation, and they have all of this esteemed coffee.
Thank you, Shugata. Welcome. Glad you're here. In closing, we have a few announcements. First of all, some birthdays this week. Harold Bennett celebrates a birthday this Thursday. That's the 11th. Harold, by the way, is caring for his family and is taking a brief leave of absence. So just wanted to acknowledge that and wish him all the best. We'll be seeing him again soon. Coca Booth, one of our honorary members, celebrates a birthday this Friday. Scott Schneider celebrates his birthday on Monday. So wish him a happy birthday. Some member anniversaries. Today, actually, Scott Schneider celebrates 6 years of service in our club. Today, Drew Edmondson celebrates 17 years in our club. And on Sunday, John Halata celebrates 4 years in our club. So thank them for their service. Wedding anniversaries that are coming up on the 13th, Tim and Michelle Naring have a wedding anniversary. On the 15th, Hal and Gail Jordan celebrate 46 years of marriage. So congratulations to them. Next week's program, Hill Karam will speak about the Summer World University Games. Bruce Howell, thank you for arranging our speaker for next week. Next week's meal will be lasagna, sauteed carrots, and garlic bread. Come back for that. The program in 2 weeks, our own Camille Pedrick will be talking about our new club service extension. This is a big move for us, and I'm real excited and appreciate Camille leading that effort. And there's lots to share, lots to get your input on, actually. So please plan to be here in 2 weeks as well. I want to thank our speaker again, Commissioner. Commissioner, thank you for all that you shared. Thank you for the compassion that you bring to your role as a commissioner and for all the great work that the county is doing to support our communities. Don, likewise, thank you for your service, and we're glad that you're here with us today. Please come back. Sally, a pleasure to have you back again. Thank you for being here with us. I especially want to thank Anurag and Tejas. Thank you all for being here, and Tejas, I'm so excited to be working with you on our videos. Thank you for your volunteer support there. Thomas, congratulations on your induction today. I'm excited to have you as a member of our club and for your service. So thank you all with that, we are adjourned. Thank you. Oh, forgive me. I have been off. I've been off today. Let's save the four-way test. Mr. Bill Fletcher, would you please lead us in the four-way test?
The things we think, say, or do.
True.
Will it build good enough better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Now we're I promise I'll get this done.